Okay, so today we're going to be looking at what is known as data streams. But before we do all that, first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a file. I'm sure you can see my desktop here. So I'm going to create a file on my desktop. So you can call it anything. For this tutorial, we're going to call it Tesla Overflow. Tesla Overflow. So short, we have a bit of a working space so that we do not get confused. So once we create that file, we're in. This is our file here. It's totally empty. Okay, ish, my hands are getting sweaty. So we're gonna go into that file. Now, the first thing we want to do before we get into data streams and all that, we want to launch our CMD. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing that. First of all, we can actually left click and actually open terminal or CMD. If you want to do the CMD one, you can actually double click on top of the bar here. And this is a little bit of a trick that I use. I delete everything and then put CMD. And once you type like that, it will automatically launch the CMD. Voila. Now, what's the other way of doing that? Which is what I recommended at first. If you want to open command shell, it's just left click. If you're on Windows 11, you should be able to open terminal and the terminal will open like that. Now, in most of this video, we're going to be focusing on the terminal, but we're going to be exchanging, and I'm going to show you how to exchange from terminal, CMD, and look at all these commands that we're going to be covering here. So the first thing that we want to do right here, that I like to do, is to actually change the color of the terminal, right? So this is just a bit of a thing for me, I would say. So cmd.exe, you do that, you go now to CMD. So if you can see here, the route has changed from PS, which is PowerShell. Now we're in what is known as C, right? So this is our C drive. This is probably CMD that we have launched. If you want to go back to PowerShell, all you have to do is to actually put power and then shell.exe. When you do that, it's going to launch the PS, which is the PowerShell. And now we're directly in PowerShell. Now, there's a command in CMD that we use to change the color of the text, which I said is one of the things that I like doing when I'm using terminal, when I'm using CMD itself. So if you do color, then you place A, and you type A, it actually says no, we actually do not recognize what is color. So basically, you're able to do that. You're able to do that in CMD. So if we run cmd.exe again, it's going to take us in CMD. And if we try a similar command, which is color, okay, so I'm going to do CLS to delete that. Then we're going to go into color.a. That should be able to change the color of the actual text, right? Now, what we want to do here, since we have managed to change the color, is to go back into our PowerShell. Like I said before, for you to be able to do that, is to do PowerShell.exe, then that should be able to lead us back to the actual PowerShell. So now we're back in PowerShell with our beautiful, beautiful color, which is green, right? I like using green. You can use other colors like red and all that. You can check the color command, and obviously it's going to give you all the other commands that are there for any other color that you want, right, in CMD. Now, coming back to the main essence of this video, which is looking at data streams, right? So before we look at data streams, we got to create a file. We have to create a file for us to look at the data streams that are involved inside it. And then we're going to go deeper into what are data streams and how they actually operate. So the first thing that we want to do here is to actually understand different commands, how they're used in CMD, and actually how they're used in PowerShell. The first thing that we looked at was color, which was not accessible in CMD. I mean, it was not accessible in PowerShell. But now we want to access it in to see if it exists in PowerShell. What we can do in PowerShell is to say get alias, right? Get alias should get us the alias of actually that particular command that we are looking for. So we say get alias, then color. So we wait for that. Actually, there's no alias for color. So let's say maybe you want to do echo, which is typing into the file or writing a particular file. We can do that and do alias for echo. So alias for echo is write output. And for those who don't know what's the meaning of echo, is basically writing into a particular file. So the same way you come in an interface, in a GUI user interface, what you do is when you're creating a text file, is go on new, and you go on text document, just like that, and then you name it, let's say maybe hacker. Then if you want to put any data in it, you open it like that. There we go. Why is it loading slow? Okay, there we go. And then let's maybe put hello world like that. So just like that, we have entered our data using graphical interface. Now, remember, we're ethical hackers, which simply means we're going to do everything on CLI. So we're going to try to do that in our CMD, I would say command PowerShell. So we're going to do CLS to clear up everything. Now, how do we create that file? Remember, in PowerShell, we can say get output, but let's do it first in CMD. So we're going to do cmd.exe. Then we're going to say echo, then the text that we want to appear in that particular file, like the way we did in the GUI, which is in this case, hello world. We're going to do hello, then world. Now, we're going to put the particular name of that file that we want to create. So in this case, once we put hello world, we're going to do a forward arrow. Then we're going to do the name. We're going to type the name of that particular file. So in this case, we want to create a file called hacker, then .txt. We do that, no errors, which simply means the file has been created. Now, if we go to our graphical user interface, voila, we find the file, it's there. So if you open it like this, definitely you're going to find the file, it's empty. It's going to have a hello world, because if you look at our command here, we're trying to enter a file called hello world. Okay, so my battery is low. I need to plug it a bit. Excuse me. Okay, we're good. Hopefully, I'm not going to disturb the microphone here. Okay. So there we go. Hopefully, that has not disturbed anything. So now we're back. What we want to do now, we have been able to create this file called hacker with actually the content inside it called hello world. Now, the next thing that we want to do here is to be able to actually look at the type of data stream that are contained inside it, right? So just a second. So we're gonna clear the terminal again with CLS, forgive me. So now once we do that, we'll be able to clear the terminal. Now we want to check the data stream. Now remember, if you're looking for a normal file in CLS, right, in the PowerShell, all you have to do is to do dir, and yeah, just like that. It's going to give us the specific file .txt. That's the only file that we have in this particular folder. Now, how do we check the data streams? So for you to be able to check the data streams, which are these more like segments of this particular file which are hidden, how are you able to actually check for that data stream? So for you to be able to actually check the data stream, all you have to do is to do a command in the PowerShell. So for us to do that, we're going to go back in PowerShell and click and type PowerShell.exe. Once we run that, it's going to give us the PowerShell. Then what we want to do is to type get content. So we're trying to get the content right now from a particular file, and this file is within the same folder. So now what we want to do here is to put a backslash, then the name of that particular folder, which in this case is hacker.txt. then the next thing that we want to do here is to do hyphen stream. So the stream here is going to help us to actually get the data stream, but we have to specify what type of data stream that we're looking for. So any file that you create, be it a document, be it a TXT, any type of file that you create, so it's going to come with what is known as $sign data. That's a type of data stream that it has internally. So any file has got this type of data stream, because this is the main data stream that contains the data of that particular file that you have created. So in this case, we want to check what is in the $sign data to actually check the type of data that we have in this particular file, which should be the same data that we already entered at first, which is hello world. So how do we do that? We type in on PowerShell get content space dot the particular path of that file, which is a txt, and then hyphen stream. Then now we're going to type $sign. But before we do that, remember you have to put the full colon, and then we're going to put the $sign, and then data. So all that has to be in caps. Once you do that, you place enter. It's going to give us hello world. Okay. So here, first of all, we did not access this directly by doing type or cut, which we're able to do that. If you want to get this particular file without using a data stream, the particular data inside the hacker.txt without using a data stream, you can do the normal cut that we do. All you have to do is to say cut, then the particular file that you have, which in this case is hacker123.txt, and that's it. You place enter, it will give us hello world. But at first we used data, right, to actually get the data stream that is contained. Now, we can actually create our own data stream. And that's the reason why we're here today, is to see how can we create our own data stream that nobody can see in that particular file, right? So we already know that we've got a file called hacker. Inside it, we've got the content, which is hello world. Now, the question is, how do we create a new data stream and hide a particular message inside it? Well, that's very simple. Now, for us to do that, first of all, we need to actually set the particular context, the particular content inside that particular file with its data stream. Now, like I said at first, in PowerShell, you cannot do echo. It will not be able to actually write. We can actually try this right now. So we can actually do echo dot / hacker.txt, and then so we can put the type of context that we want to see here. Let's say maybe test quite secret message, message. So what we're trying to do is to add a new content inside the hacker.txt, but we're still in PowerShell. So we're going to see if this is going to work or not, because I want you to see the difference between the commands. So echo has managed to work, right? Echo has worked, but the other way of doing this, so now if we check, first of all, if we check the context inside the data stream, or maybe just using the normal cut, now we've seen that it has changed from hello world to secret message, right? We've managed to change the context inside it. We have managed to overwrite the context, right? Now, we don't want to do that. So we're going to go back and change it back to hello world. Hello world. There we go. Okay, so now we just verify again by doing cat hello world. We have it. Now, the next thing that we want to do, like I told you, is to create a new data stream that is going to be hidden in that particular file. Now, how do we do that? So the first thing is we have to create the content that is going to be in that particular data stream. And if you do get alias of that alias of echo, we're going to find out that we'll be able to use write output as echo, which simply means we can utilize we can utilize write output as echo. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to write output. Then once we do that, we're going to type the type of message that we want to be in that particular data stream that we are creating. So this is the actual content that is going to be in that data stream. So in this case, we're going to put hidden message. Once we do hidden message, we're going to put that. I don't know the name of it. I've forgotten. Type at the comment section below if you still remember the name of this. I've forgotten. But once you type that particular symbol, you should be able now to set the data in the, to say set content, and then dot / then the name of that particular file. So remember, we're trying to enter a hidden message in the hacker.txt. So we're going to type hacker.txt, right? After we do hacker.txt, this hidden message is going to be in form of data stream. Then we're going to put the particular name of that data stream that we are creating. So in this case, this data stream, remember the first default data stream that we have is $data, right? $data is the default data stream that everybody knows, or say that's a default one for each and every file. But in this case, we're creating our new data stream. So we're going to call it data stream. We're going to call it secret data stream, so that we're able to remember it's secret data stream. Like that. Close it like that. Then we're going to say enter. Voila. Now, here's the thing that I want you to see. If we go to this file using the GUI, we should be able to see hacker.txt. And if you open it, the only thing we're going to see is hello world. Now, where is the hidden data stream? Before we even look at the data stream, remember, for those people who have utilized Hacker123, you know there's several ways of hiding files. The first one is just by going to Windows itself, and you go on View, and then you're able to click on here. You're able to click on Hide. So here, hide items, you can do that. Right, we should be able to hide the particular items. So hide files, you're able to do that. Now, the problem with this is if you click on unhide that particular file, you can actually unhide it just by doing that, which does not actually work. Now, the other way that we taught you, if you have used before the Hacker123, the other way of doing this is actually by using Atrrib. Now, the problem with Atrrib, it's actually a good command. So we're going to try it right now. So if you go on that particular file and we try to do Atrrib. So first of all, we're going to make sure that we're in CMD. And then let's say maybe we do Atrrib. We hide the particular file. Do that. And if you don't know this command, you can actually check it on Hacker123. You can check it online. Then you put the name of that particular file that you're trying to hide, .txt. Okay, so invalid. Okay, what have we done wrong here? So let's go back. We're not able to hide this. Atrrib s, sorry, so it is not yet hidden. So for us to hide, we're supposed to do plus. My bad, I forgot there. So plus, plus, still invalid switch. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, let's launch Hacker123. I think that'll be a good example. Let's look at Hacker123 and how we're able to go about it in Hacker123, just to give an illustration. All right, what we can do now, I think I get it. Let's see where the problem is here. So basically, we're just gonna go back to the same folder. We're gonna do Atrrib. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do plus h, then the name of the actual file, which is in this case hacker.txt. So this is one way of hiding it. When we just do that, when we go back to our graphical user interface, we'll find that the file is no longer there. But the question is, how do we bring it back, right? So what we can do here, I just want to put this alongside it so that you're able to see what's really going on. So if we do now Atrrib, instead of plus, we put minus, like that. We can see the file. There we go. It shows up. But if we put plus, it goes. Now, the reason why this is not as advanced as data stream is because this can easily be seen, right? This can easily, the particular file can easily be denoted. How do we know that that is possible? If we do Atrrib here, first of all, we're going to do dr. So if we do dr, you can see it's saying there's no file, zero bytes. It means there's no file in this particular folder. But if we do Atrrib, we're able to find that particular file, which is called hacker.txt. Now, data stream is a bit advanced, right? It's a bit interesting topic because at the same time, you should be able to hide the particular data, but within a file that is already existing. Now, what do I mean by this? If you go and hide that particular file that we created, so now it should be able to come back. There we go. Now, we already created a data stream called secret data stream. The question is, how do we access it? So for us to be able to access that particular data stream, what we want to do here is go back to our command line, clear it, right? So first of all, we're going to do get content. Just to get the content, I think we're in CMD, so when you do get content, it's not going to recognize it. So we're going to have to shift to PowerShell. PowerShell.exe, right? So remember, we already created a data stream called, we called it secret stream. Secret stream, should be secret stream, yeah. So now we're trying to get that particular data stream and what content was inside it. But before we do that, let's check the default data stream that we already have. So the default data stream, if we do get -content, and then we actually put the route of that particular file that we're trying to get the data stream from, .txt, and then what we want to do is -stream. What are we streaming for is default data at this moment. We just want to see if the default data is still there. So data, remember, all in caps, default data, then like that. Okay, what is it saying here? What have we done wrong? Yeah, we missed the $sign. So We're going to do the command again, but we need to put the $ after the full colon. There we go. Hello world. So this is the only data that is there. But the question is, what about the data that we managed to hide within this same particular file? Where is it? So first of all, we don't know that particular data stream, and that's what makes it so intriguing, because we don't know the particular data stream that we're looking for, and we're trying to get the context of it, the content of it. Now, one way of doing this, if you know the data stream, you can actually type get content, the same type of file, data stream, then put that particular file name that you know, the particular data stream that we're looking for. In this case, we're looking for secret, right? We're looking for secret data stream. We're looking for secret stream. If I remember, if I'm correct, that should be the name of the file. Okay, could not open the alternate data stream, which is called. Okay, so we need to remove the $ because the secret stream does not contain the $. Still, okay, let's move the full colon. There we go. So we've seen our message now, hidden message. I don't know if you're able to see it. Let me increase the terminal a bit. So here we have, there we go, hidden message. So now, if you have understood this, we have created a file called hacker.txt. And this file consists of a content known as hello world. But inside this same hacker.txt, we have another data stream that is hidden, that is known as secret stream. So it's more like creating another file in the same folder, but within the same data stream, within the same file with a different data stream. And that data stream consists of a message known as hidden. Now, this is one of the ways that you can hide context, right? You can hide the content inside this particular data stream. But the question is how black hat hackers or any type of bad hacker is able to actually put viruses, is able to put any malicious software in that particular file. So I might be giving you notes in a document file, right? Let's say maybe the file is called work.excel. Work.excel has got particular data stream, right? And that particular data stream is the actual content that is in that Excel. But the question is, what if a hacker tries to put another data stream and he hides a virus inside it? How are they able to do that? I'm going to give a short example, because today we're not going to go so deep on how to put a payload, on how to do scripting. We're going to cover that in the next video. And the only way we're going to be able to cover that is if you comment down below and ask if you're interested in actually seeing how best you can put a payload and actually how best you can invoke that type of payload, then you can comment down below and we'll be able to create that video. But today we're just going to look at how can we actually put an actual program like a calculator inside this data stream. So first of all, before we look at how we're going to be able to put any type of exe or any type of payload, first of all, how do we find data streams that are actually hidden? So for us to be able to find data streams that are actually hidden, all we have to do is to write a code that is going to look for a random wildcard using what is known as an asterisk. So for us to be able to do that, we're going to clear the screen. Now we're already in our directory, which contains a file which its name is hacker.txt. Now the question is, how do we get the unknown data stream? For us to be able to actually get the unknown data stream, all we have to do is to type get item. So as an ethical hacker, this is the command that you want to learn in order for you to find these hidden files or these hidden backdoors or these hidden data streams. So get item dot that name of that particular file that you're doing forensic on, and then its property, which is txt, and then the next thing that you want to do is to do stream, and then guess what are you streaming for? You're streaming for all the random wildcard. So basically what you want to do is to type the asterisk, which is just on top of the 8, if you go on the digit 8 on your keyboard and you press shift, you should be able to get the star, which is called an asterisk. And once you type that, it should be able to get the actual hidden data streams. So here, command shell has refused us to do that. But why? So we did not type our path correctly. We missed a backslash. So we go back there and put a backslash. There we go. So what have we found here? First of all, we've got different type of properties, right? If you look at there, we've got PS PowerShell path. So it gives us the path of the particular file and as well as the data stream that we're looking at. Remember, the default data stream is $data, right? This is the data stream that we are looking at. Now, if we have any data stream inside it that is being contained, it's actually going to show that particular data stream. And in this case, it has showed us that within this particular file, we have got another stream. If you look at here, we've got stream, and here we've got stream. Our first stream is called data of $data, which is the first stream that we have. Then the second stream, which is secret stream, which is what we created. So this is how you're able to see, or you're able to know that there's actually extended streams or there's other streams in that particular file that have been hidden. Now, the question is, how are we able to actually insert a virus or a payload inside this? We're not going to be doing that in this video, but I said if you really want to see how we're going to be able to do this, you can still comment down below and we'll be able to create that video. But in this video, we're just going to cover how we're going to add a calculator and try to see how best we can embed it inside this same data stream, or actually create a third data stream inside this file, right? So now, for us to be able to do that, we're going to go to our CMD by just typing cmd.exe. We clear everything on the desktop. So first thing we want to do is type. Type, which simply means we just want to check or cut. In other words, we want to check what's inside the particular file. In this case, we want to go to the path of C drive, and then we're going to go to Windows, against / system32, system32, / then we look at the calculator, which it comes by default in Windows. If you have any Windows, this file should be there. So if you press that, it's going to give us some binary code, bit 64, right? So this code, for those of you who have used HackerOne3, you know, I think should be starting from level 6, should be level 5. We start to look at binary code and bit 64 codes. So I highly recommend you to look at HackerOne3 because you get to learn a lot about these stuff as you are trying to hack your way into other levels. But coming back to this, what we have here is a binary code. And what we want to do is to get this binary code and actually put it inside the actual file which we have, which is hacker.txe, without it being seen in the actual context, right? Where there's hello world. For us to be able to do that, all we have to do is to type the previous command, which is, so first of all, I'm going to clear this so that we have a clear screen. We can also change the color. I forgot that I got carried away. So there we go. So now we're going to put back our previous command, which is type specific file that we want, which is the calculator. And what we are getting there is actually the binary code. Now, what we want to do is to add that particular binary code in hacker.txt, right? And then the name of that data stream is going to be called calculator. Calculator, like that. We click enter. Nothing has happened. But guess what? If we try to check the type of data streams that exists inside this, so if you go back to PowerShell.py, .exe, then we do get content. Get content of hacker123, sorry, hacker.txt. Then we're going to stream for these data streams that we created. Then we do a wildcard. Okay, what's wrong here? So we did a wildcard, nothing is really working. Okay, so there's an error here. We made a typo. It's supposed to put a capturator like that. Okay, still not working. What's going on? Data stream. So what is it saying? It's saying get content to not open random wildcard on hacker123. Okay, what are we doing wrong here? So basically, that should be able to work, but in our case, it's not working. So, what's going on? Come on. If that's not working, that's okay. We can switch to CMD, and so do cmd.exe. I think we're missing something, but I can't see it. .content/.exe. Weird. So let's go in CMD. We'll be able to do that in CMD. Actually, to be a great example, so that you know. So for us to do to stream for this is to check the data streams in CMD. We're going to do dir, then /r. If we do that, it should actually give us all the data streams. Okay. So it has given us calculator. You see that we have got the calculator here. We've got the data, and then we also have data stream. So it simply means the data stream for the calculator was actually hidden. Now, in a nuance, for us to be able to actually invoke this particular payload, we'll have to do some other codes that we can utilize, some other commands to invoke. So let's say maybe you've managed to hide this particular virus or this particular payload in that particular file, and it can be scanned, but it won't be detected. You give that particular user, they start using that file. Now you want to activate that particular payload. There's a command that we utilize that can access that data stream and run that particular code. And we're going to be checking that in the next video. So let me know if you understood actually what we were doing in this video, because I feel like this topic, it's a bit complicated if you don't understand hidden files, Atrrib, and especially command line. But if you do understand, this should have been a walkover for you to understand what are data streams. And if you need me to go back again and dive in different areas of this, you can still comment down below and we can see what video can be created to cover those particular things. But guess what? This is the end of this video that we have covered on how to create a data stream, how to access it, and actually how to be able to detect a particular data stream if it exists in that particular file, which is by running the wildcard of using the asterisk. So that is very important. All the commands are going to be put down below. So check down below the comment, the comment section. You should be able to see, or the description, I should say. You'll be able to see the commands there. Don't forget to comment if you need any video that can go in depth in terms of data streams, or maybe to cover some of these topics that you haven't understood yet. The other thing is we've got a WhatsApp group that is called Hacker123. So basically, if you're in that group, you can always ask questions about any video that we're making under the Black Hat series, and we can get to cover it in terms of context and other stuff. Thank you very much. See you back again.